Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're grappling with a question that has quietly, yet profoundly, reshaped our daily lives.
Mm.
In a world increasingly defined by its digital interfaces,
Mm.
what is the real core of human connection?
Mm.
We're pulling out the crucial insights from a powerful source titled Excerpts from Human Connection in a Digital World,
Mm-hmm.
and we're aiming to dissect not just how we interact, but how we truly learn and, transmit knowledge in this ever-evolving landscape.
Yeah.
And we're doing it through the lens of one of those significant global shifts in recent memory. I mean, when so much of our world went remote, what did we unequivocally gain? And perhaps more importantly, what did we unknowingly, or maybe even willingly, surrender in that grand digital migration?
It's more than just a relevant topic. It's a question that drills right down into the very essence of what makes us human.
Right.
How do societies progress? How do individuals truly flourish when our foundational modes of interaction are undergoing such rapid transformation? So today, we'll be dissecting precisely what renders in-person interaction not just unique, but in many profound ways, kind of irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable, yeah.
Especially when we consider the vital, almost alchemical processes of learning and the cultivation of genuine empathy. These aren't just nice-to-haves. They're fundamental, really, to our collective development and our ability to truly connect on a deeper level.
Okay, let's peel back that first layer then. The source immediately immerses us in the seismic event of COVID-19.
Right.
A period that didn't just suggest a move to digital, it pretty much demanded it for so many. Think about the sheer scale. Work, education, social life. I mean, almost every facet of our existence seemed to funnel instantly into online or remote settings.
It's huge.
And the author is quick to acknowledge the undeniable convenience this ushered in. I mean, remember that initial rush?
Oh, yeah.
That sort of exhilarating sense of liberation from the daily commute, reclaiming hours for family, for personal pursuits, for just breathing.
The time saved was incredible for some.
And the unparalleled ease of assembling a global team instantly from different time zones
Yeah.
without a single flight booked or hotel room reserved.
Right. Access became key.
The unprecedented access to rare expertise or archived resources, no longer bound by geography or physical infrastructure. For a moment, for many of us, it really felt like a revolutionary leap, didn't it?
It did. Like a digital utopia almost.
Like we'd finally escaped the physical constraints that had always governed our interactions.
And that initial euphoria you described, that sense of boundless convenience, is exactly where the author introduces a powerful, almost sobering counterpoint.
Okay.
Because despite all those undeniable gains, the efficiency, the accessibility, the source immediately pivots to highlight what was taken away.
The other side of the coin.
Exactly. And this, to me, is where the true deep dive begins. It's not just about what we lost, but how those losses fundamentally reshaped our human relationships, subtly eroding our capacity for genuine empathy, and fundamentally altering the very, texture of our interactions.
The texture, that's a good way to put it.
The author grounds this deeper loss in seemingly minor, yet incredibly telling practical frustrations. Take the simple act of project management and shared deadlines.
Right.
In a physical office, a quick check-in at a colleague's desk, maybe an impromptu whiteboard session, or even just sensing the collective energy of a room can ensure everyone is aligned and on track.
Yeah, you just know sometimes.
But in a virtual world, that informal communication often breaks down. Deadlines can become these nebulous, shifting entities, leading to misunderstandings or missed targets, precisely because those organic, human-centric points of alignment are, well, they're gone.
That's such a critical observation. It's not just about the explicit loss of a meeting, but the implicit loss of those micro-interactions, those constant, often unconscious calibrations that happen when you're in the same physical space.
Absolutely.
And the source also mentions the ambiguity of cameras being on or off. While it seems like a small detail, it has a profound impact, doesn't it?
Oh, completely. When you're speaking to a grid of black squares or static profile pictures, you lose the micro-expressions, the subtle nods of understanding, the fidgets of confusion.
All that feedback?
The very human feedback loop that makes communication rich and responsive. Consider a team brainstorm. In person, you can see someone's eyes light up with an idea, another's brow furrow in doubt, or feel the shift in energy when a consensus starts to form.
You can really feel the room.
Online, with cameras off, you're often speaking to a void. You can't read the room in the same way.
No.
This loss of direct visual and energetic feedback doesn't just make communication less efficient. It strips away layers of emotional and relational data that are vital for fostering true connection and understanding.
So the source argues that this stark contrast, this almost jarring contrast between the allure of convenience and the quiet sacrifice of true connection, forces us to confront a vital question. What is the true, hidden cost of all this digital ease?
Mm. Are we paying with the very fabric of our human bonds? Those subtle cues that allow us to build rapport and empathy? That seems to be the underlying question.
This analysis of the subtle yet profound losses is incredibly insightful, and it clearly leads the author to paint a stark contrast, a vivid, almost nostalgic recollection of a time before the digital deluge.
Yeah, different time.
They transport us back to, some time ago, to a physical classroom where they conducted teaching for an executive master TQM program. Now, TQM, Total Quality Management,
Hmm.
that's not just about facts, right? It's about systems, collaboration.
Absolutely. It's deeply about understanding complex systems, fostering collaboration, cultivating a mindset of quality. The human element is crucial there.
So the setting of this in-person classroom experience isn't just any teaching environment. It's one where subtle human interaction and shared understanding would be absolutely paramount. The author describes looking directly at the students, communicating face-to-face, not through a screen, but directly, eye to eye. That profound ability to truly understand their rhythm, to gauge their concentration in real time.
Not based on a poll or a chat box.
No, exactly. Based on their presence, their actual presence.
And this really forces us to ponder a critical question. What unique capabilities does this direct human element bring to the learning experience that technology, even the most advanced AI, still struggles or perhaps even fails to replicate?
What's the magic ingredient, essentially?
Well, the source beautifully highlights how, in that physical classroom, the instructor possessed the incredible capacity to create organic pauses. Not pre-programmed breaks, but moments of silence and reflection that emerge naturally from the flow of discussion.
Oh, okay.
And critically, they could emphasize important, often complex topics precisely when students were most concentrated and deeply involved. Imagine a moment where a difficult concept is being introduced, and the instructor sees a collective frown, a subtle shift in posture, a moment of deep thought across the room.
You see it happening.
A human teacher instinctively knows to slow down, re-explain, perhaps use a different analogy, or even just allow a moment of quiet processing. This wasn't merely about delivering content efficiently, was it?
No, it sounds much deeper.
It was about something far more profound. The author describes it as seeking to enter into empathy with them.
Empathy. There it is again.
And this is where the human touch becomes irreplaceable. This ability to instinctively read the room, to adapt one's teaching based on subtle, almost imperceptible cues like a shift in posture, a questioning glance, a subtle facial expression, or a focused gaze. It's a profound, intuitive interaction that informs the entire pedagogical process.
It's what allows a teacher to truly connect with and guide their students, ensuring not just information transfer, but true comprehension and engagement.
Precisely.
It's that deep understanding, that almost intuitive grasp of the human element that leads the author to make what I consider to be a very bold and provocative claim.
It is bold.
A statement that really makes you pause and think, especially in our current technological climate. They say, I can guarantee you that no technology or online modality will ever be able to replace the human being.
Just flat out guarantee.
Yeah. It's not just a strong opinion. It's presented as an absolute and unwavering conviction. And given the rapid pace of technological advancement, especially in AI, that's a statement that truly forces us to confront our assumptions about what technology can and cannot do. Can an algorithm really replicate the richness of human interaction?
Indeed, and the source doesn't just leave us with that bold claim, it elaborates quite extensively on why this is the case, specifically addressing the limitations of AI agents or virtual avatars.
Okay, so.
It states unequivocally that they do not create human relationships as we do. And this is not a trivial distinction. Furthermore, they do not follow your emotivity, your active participation, and your concentration.
Right, they can't track feelings or focus in the same way.
Imagine for a moment trying to teach a complex subject to a group where you can't perceive their enthusiasm, their frustration, or their waning attention. It's an almost impossible task for true understanding.
You're flying blind, essentially.
Exactly. Crucially, the source points out that these AI entities can't read your perplexities that are visible from your facial expression and your gaze. Think about that aha moment when a concept finally clicks.
Or the opposite, that confused look.
Or conversely, the unmistakable look of confusion or doubt on someone's face. For a human teacher, these are not just observable details, they are critical, real-time data points that allow them to instantly adapt their approach, to re-explain, to pivot, to dive deeper, ensuring that the learner truly grasps the material.
Without these cues, learning becomes a one-way street, just a lecture without that vital feedback loop.
Yeah, it's just information push.
And it goes even further than just reading the room, which is fascinating in itself. The source states that these AI entities, quote, do not interrupt the lesson to give an answer to eliminate doubts and deepen topics, or give exhaustive answers to your questions, despite all their knowledge, preparation, and availability. This really hones in on the proactive, responsive nature of human interaction that AI seems to lack. It's not just about having the information. It's about knowing when and how to deliver it in a way that truly serves the learner's immediate, often unarticulated need.
This is absolutely key to understanding the author's core argument. It's not about a lack of information on AI's part, nor even its incredible ability to process vast amounts of data quickly.
That's where AI shines, right?
That's where AI shines, no doubt. The point is about the inherent nature of AI itself. The source explains that AI is and always will be the fruit of a programming code, of training through the nourishment of computer data.
Fundamentally code and data.
Fundamentally. This difference means that while AI can indeed provide information, even incredibly sophisticated and detailed information, it fundamentally cannot truly engage with the spontaneous, emotional, and evolving needs of a human learner in the same way another human can. It lacks the capacity for genuine empathy, for true intuition.
It can recognize a pattern maybe, but not feel the situation.
Exactly. While AI can recognize a smile, it struggles to interpret the nuance of a strained smile masking confusion, or the subtle shift in gaze that signals a student is mentally disengaging. This isn't just about image recognition, it's about understanding complex emotional states and cognitive processes that current AI, despite advances in sentiment analysis, still cannot truly feel or intuit.
Right.
A human teacher can feel the energy of the room, sense a student struggling, and proactively offer clarification before a question is even fully formed.
Yeah, predictive empathy.
Yeah. AI, by its very nature as a programmed entity, operates within the parameters of its data and algorithms, making it an incredible tool for information retrieval and pattern recognition, but not for the nuanced, fluid, and deeply human dance of teaching and learning that involves connection, emotion, and intuition.
So the human teacher doesn't just dispense facts. They guide the learner through the emotional and cognitive landscape of understanding, adapting to their evolving state in real time.
Beautifully put. That's the essence of it.
This leads us to a fascinating broader implication. The author doesn't stop at the practical limitations of AI. They zoom out, connecting this discussion to a much deeper historical and philosophical plane.
Taking the long view.
Yeah. The source reminds us that knowledge has been transmitted for centuries and centuries among humans, teaching and spreading, studying and handing down. It's such a simple statement, yet it carries a profound weight, doesn't it?
It really does.
It immediately grounds all knowledge, all understanding, in the context of human interaction, a continuous unbroken chain of one generation passing wisdom to the next, face-to-face, voice-to-voice.
That lineage of learning.
It's a deep historical perspective that roots our current understanding in this very fundamental human process. From ancient oral traditions where stories and history were passed down around a fire, to the Socratic method or the master-apprentice model, human presence, observation, direct dialogue.
It's always been the conduit.
Always.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it underscores a critical point. Even the virtual knowledge of artificial intelligence, even if infinite, is always a product of the human being.
So AI knowledge isn't born from nothing, it's derived.
It's derived, exactly. This means that AI's vast repository of information, while undeniably impressive in its scope and accessibility, fundamentally originates from human creation, human research, human language, and human understanding.
Every bit of data traces back to us.
Every piece of data, every algorithm, every concept that feeds into an AI system ultimately traces back to a human mind, a human discovery, a human-devised language system. This raises profound questions about originality and true understanding.
Can an AI truly understand in the human sense? Or is it just incredibly sophisticated processing?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Does it merely process and synthesize information in ways that mimic understanding? For example, an AI can process millions of medical texts and synthesize diagnoses, but does it understand the human suffering behind the symptoms? Does it grasp the fear, the hope?
That's a powerful distinction. So if all AI knowledge is derived, if it's always a reflection of what we've already created and fed into it, then the human role in generating truly new knowledge and making conceptual leaps in formulating original thought, that becomes even more vital.
Absolutely. It highlights our role as the originators.
It makes you consider what infinite knowledge truly means if its roots are always finite and human. It's a kind of recursive loop where human creativity feeds AI, and AI then expands on that human-generated information, but the initial spark, the true innovation, remains undeniably human.
And this also leads us to consider the biases inherent in the data provided to AI.
Which are, by extension, human biases.
Right, highlighting the absolute necessity of human oversight and critical thinking in evaluating AI outputs. We can't just take it at face value.
So it's not just about facts, but context, nuance, subjective interpretation.
Precisely. An AI can tell you what happened, but it struggles with why it mattered or what the emotional subtext was. That deeper layer of understanding, that wisdom beyond information, requires human experience and empathy.
We imbue the data with meaning.
We do. We draw connections that are not purely logical, but intuitive, based on our lived experience. So while AI can greatly assist in knowledge processing and dissemination, it relies on us to generate that fundamental human-centric knowledge in the first place and to provide the ethical and contextual framework for its use.
It really reinforces the irreplaceable value of human contribution at the very genesis of understanding.
Without a doubt.
Yet, even with this strong stance on AI's limits in replicating true human interaction, the author offers a compelling counter-narrative, revealing their own innovative project, which is interesting.
Yeah, a slight shift here.
A project that uses technology not to replace, but maybe to enhance human connection. They share their own small, tangible contribution to bringing people closer together by removing linguistic barriers, enabling communication independently of linguistic origin, as if we were talking with our next-door neighbor.
I like that analogy. Next-door neighbor. Very accessible.
It's such a lovely, intimate way to describe bridging what were once insurmountable linguistic divides. It's an important shift from the earlier critique of AI, isn't it?
It is. And what's particularly insightful here is the explicit intent behind this translator project, as the author calls it.
Trans-AI Duder. Okay.
The source states it looks beyond potential business in its core goal to overcome any possible obstacle in direct communication between people in the world. And there are many.
So the goal is connection, not just profit.
That seems to be the emphasis. This isn't just about creating a more efficient translation tool. It's fundamentally about preserving the very essence of human communication that the author champions.
How so?
They specify that it aims to preserve emotivity, our voice, our ways of expressing ourselves, and our human part.
Wow. Okay, preserving emotivity and voice. That's ambitious.
It really is. Think about what this implies for communication. It's not just about translating words from one language to another like a simple dictionary lookup.
No, it's more than just the text.
It's about ensuring the tone is conveyed, the nuance of an idiom, the emotional register of a statement, the unique quirks of individual expression that make us human.
Like sarcasm or irony or warmth.
Exactly. If someone speaks with sarcasm or a gentle irony or deep empathy, a standard translation might completely flatten that. This project aims to capture and transmit that intangible human part of communication across the language barrier.
That's a fascinating distinction. So, rather than using technology to replace human interaction, this project aims to use it as a powerful tool to facilitate a more authentic, more human-like interaction across language divides.
That's how it reads, yes.
Can you elaborate on how it might preserve emotivity or our voice? Is it attempting to capture intonation or perhaps even subtle nonverbal cues that are part of speech? That sounds incredibly complex.
Precisely. While the source doesn't provide granular technical details, the implication is definitely that it goes beyond mere lexical translation. It suggests an approach that might leverage advanced speech analysis and synthesis to retain original vocal characteristics, intonation, and emotional prosody as much as possible, even while translating the underlying words.
So I could hear your voice, but speaking Spanish, for example, with your cadence.
Potentially, yes. Imagine a system that, while speaking in another language still conveys the unique cadence of your voice, the warmth in your tone, or the intensity of your conviction.
That's a far cry from the robotic, flat voice of many current translation services.
Absolutely. It aligns perfectly with the broader theme we've been discussing, valuing and safeguarding the irreplaceable human elements in our communication and connection.
So it's technology in service of humanity.
Enabling genuine connection by removing artificial barriers rather than creating new, less human ones. It's about making the digital bridge stronger, allowing people to cross it and meet more fully as themselves rather than as digitized, stripped-down versions.
Right. Bringing it full circle now. And with a clear sense of purpose that feels almost like a declaration, the source expresses a really clear and passionate future vision.
A return of sorts.
Yeah. The author states, with genuine enthusiasm, I am certain that I will gladly return, and with a passion for teaching to classrooms to spend unique and inimitable moments teaching and transmitting knowledge. You can almost feel the anticipation and joy in that statement.
You really can. It's palpable.
It's a powerful declaration of intent, a commitment to a mode of learning that they clearly believe is superior or at least deeply necessary.
And this isn't just a desire to return to a past method of instruction, is it? It's a profound statement about the type of knowledge the author believes is most effectively transmitted in person.
What type is that?
They specify that they aim to impart not only professional knowledge, but also knowledge of life.
Knowledge of life. Okay, what does that encompass?
Well, the source highlights this knowledge of life as something very often neglected and overlooked, but they're fundamental for daily and professional life.
The fundamentals we forget.
Maybe. It's not just about theoretical concepts or technical skills. It's about the soft skills, resilience, critical thinking, ethical decision-making, emotional intelligence, even conflict resolution. Things that are rarely taught effectively through lectures alone.
Things you learn by doing, by interacting.
Exactly. A human teacher can share personal anecdotes, facilitate discussions on real-world dilemmas, observe group dynamics, and offer personalized feedback that a purely digital medium or an AI simply cannot replicate in the same way. It's in those shared moments of vulnerability, debate, and discovery that life knowledge truly transfers.
That makes perfect sense. These are the skills that define not just a successful professional, but a well-rounded human being. How do you teach empathy, for instance, without being present to model it, to observe it, to discuss its nuances in a shared human space?
It's incredibly difficult otherwise. Think about a student struggling with a moral dilemma related to their profession. An AI can present ethical frameworks, sure.
List of rules? Maybe.
But a human teacher can share a personal experience, guide a nuanced discussion where students debate different viewpoints, read their subtle discomfort or conviction, and offer a sense of perspective and shared humanity.
That richness again.
These are skills that are incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to fully cultivate purely through a screen or with an AI. The author anticipates many novelties, many new courses, and many new subjects as they return to this vital mode of education.
So an evolution, not just a return.
Right, whether independently or in collaboration with other professionals. This speaks to a renewed commitment to comprehensive education that acknowledges and prioritizes the human element in fostering well-rounded individuals.
Individuals capable of navigating both their careers and their lives with wisdom and empathy.
Exactly. It's about building not just competent professionals, but truly capable, resilient, and compassionate human beings. The passion for returning to this environment underscores the belief that true, transformative learning happens best in the presence of others, where the complexities of human interaction enrich the transmission of knowledge and wisdom.
Wow. What a journey through the profound importance of human connection in an increasingly digital world.
Yeah.
We've really seen how, despite the undeniable convenience and efficiency that technology brought during global shifts like the pandemic,
Convenience we all felt.
there's a vital, irreplaceable depth to in-person engagement, especially when it comes to the complex processes of learning and fostering true empathy. The insights we've pulled from excerpts from Human Connection in a Digital World remind us that while AI can process infinite data and deliver information with incredible speed, true knowledge transmission, the kind that leads to deep understanding, personal growth, and the cultivation of crucial life knowledge,
That wisdom factor.
and indeed, human understanding itself, is fundamentally rooted in our shared humanity. Even projects aimed at bridging communication gaps, like the Translator project we discussed, value preserving our human part, our emotivity, our unique voice, and our very human ways of expressing ourselves.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? As you navigate your daily life, constantly balancing digital convenience with that innate human need for connection.
Which we all do every day.
Perhaps this deep dive raises an important question. How might you intentionally seek out more direct human connection and empathic interaction in your own life, even when technology offers what seems like an easier, more immediate path?
It's tempting, isn't it? The easy path.
It is. But consider what life knowledge, those fundamental skills of empathy, resilience, and nuanced understanding you might be missing out on by solely relying on screens and virtual interactions. The source challenges us really to remember that true transformative learning and profound connection often happen in the shared space of human presence.
Absolutely. A powerful thought to end on. Thanks for diving in with us today. Keep seeking those aha moments and the rich, inimitable value of human connection that truly enriches our lives.